Come on, 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Oh, we made it. I got to get that fixed. I think I realized what the problem is. I got too many tabs open up on my computer. I think it's using all that memory. And when I do that, when I get all the streaming stuff up and going, it slows it down and it makes it do the little, little spinny thing. But anyway, praise the Lord, everybody. I wanted to hop on here and I wanted to talk about a dream that I had last night. I typically do this. It's been a while since I've done it, but I want to mainly do it just, I don't know, for a little insight on anybody and so I can remember it. I remember last time I did this, it was for that same reason, so I can remember it because my memory is horrible. And the only way that I can remember stuff completely is if I do a video on it and I can go back and watch it or listen to it or whatever. So, anyway, that's what this is about. This is a dream that I had last night. And I do have some very vivid dreams sometimes. And I don't have the gift to interpret them very well. I can give my thoughts on what I think it means, but some people are very gifted with interpreting dreams. Obviously, that's in the Bible. And there's people nowadays that are very good at that. So, if anybody has any insight on to what they think this dream may mean, what kind of message that God's trying to send me, I mean, go ahead and let me know. Feel free to comment, put in the chat, comment section, or whatever. So, um, yeah, that's this picture. It's just like a dream. It's actually the picture's dream with um, flood, but I just thought it was a cool picture for dreams because that's kind of how dreams look. They're so weird sometimes that there's a lot going on, and we all have dreams, I believe, and sometimes we don't remember them. Sometimes we wake up and like, oh, I didn't have a dream, but you had a dream and you don't remember it. And I guess maybe some people don't have dreams, but the dreams that I do have, I know the ones that physically wake me up from a dead sleep. I know that's a message, and that's something that God is trying to tell me. Uh, you've heard it said that if things like that happen, then that's a good time to pray. If you have a dream like that, because God will wake you up in the middle of the night, and He will want you to pray, and that's a good time to do it because you're alone, not alone, but everybody else is asleep. You can have that alone time, that secret place, and that is what I did this morning. Now, typically, when I have dreams that wake me up, it's usually in 3 a.m., 3 to 4. Now, this morning, it was 1 o'clock in the morning. Basically, long story short, here's the dream. We were driving on the interstate. It was a white SUV, a newer SUV. And we was getting off the interstate. Now, as far as I remember, it was me, Madison, Sam, my mom and dad. Mom and dad were and Sam was in the back. I was in the front seat. And for whatever reason, I don't do this, so don't. I was holding Maddie in the front seat. I don't know why, but that's just the way it was. And then there was a driver, and I don't know who the driver was. It was a man, but we was driving in the interstate, going kind of fast. We went to a exit ramp, and he was going kind of fast. And here's the weird thing: I knew we was gonna wreck. I knew that. Like I could, in the dream, I knew that we was going to crash. And a few seconds after I realized that in the dream, we did crash. So when you have an exit ramp, they're usually circular. So instead of going around the circle, we just went off the edge of the ramp. And we was going kind of fast. And all I remember is us skidding in the grass. And then we tumbled, we rolled, several times. We went far as we was skidding and all that. And then towards the end is when we started to roll. And I remember getting out of the SUV, and I got a picture here, kind of just like SUVs that are totaled. And it was like that, but it was way more squashed down. I do know that. And I remember getting out of the SUV, and everybody was fine. Everybody that was in the car was fine. I was amazed by that because, like I said, the vehicle was very, very, very squashed, way more than what this picture is. And I remember specifically, I was praising God that we all got out of there without a scratch. I do know that for a fact. Now, keep in mind, Madison was up front in the front seat, and I was holding her in my arm. And it reminds me now of the fire that we got out of without a single singed hair. But it kind of goes along with that. But then I remember walking. There was a bunch of people, and this is the weird part. There was a bunch of people by the crash site, and then the car disappeared, and it was like a fair, a carnival was going on. Because, well, we'll get to that. But before that part, I started walking up, and I was following the trail of the skid marks that was in the grass. And I remember specifically that if you could see the mouse here, picture there's a house here, right where this little finger is. There's a house. And then on the other side, there was a garage. Now, that's important because the skid was like this. It was windy. But I remember specifically the car going right in between the house and the garage. It did not touch either one of them. It was very narrow. It was like an inch on each side of that car went through, and did not get any damage because it did not hit that house or that garage. I remember that specifically. And then I kept walking and walking and walking. And then I got up to what looked like an old town, and there was another big rock next to the skid mark, and it whipped and it curved so it didn't hit that rock. And then I remember seeing a bunch of people standing around talking about the accident, and I kept walking, and then there were some bleachers, and I got up on the bleachers and I looked down, and it was like a overpass. I was standing on an overpass, and the car, after it jumped the off ramp, it literally jumped over like a straight down drop. It's hard to explain, but it jumped over it. I was looking down at it, and I was amazed. Again, I was thinking, how in the world did we make it out of this car? Because, again, remember, it was completely totaled. It was smashed like a pancake. And so I was back by the bleachers up here looking down at what we just jumped over. And everybody was standing there, and they were all talking about it. And I was like, yeah, we was in that car. I was just in it. I'm walking up here to look at the damage, or I'm following the tracks or whatever. And then I started walking back to where the SUV ended up. And I remember as I was walking down, I got towards the big rock that was here, and I just started street preaching. I started giving glory to Jesus. I was screaming, people, hey, Jesus saves you. Jesus loves you. I was doing all that. I was doing some ministering to the people. And then I got back down to the crash site, and the car was not there anymore. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. So then went to go look for the car or the SUV. And like I said, it was a fair, because we was talking to people, and they were dressed. The people we talked to, I said, hey, have you seen the car? Because it disappeared from the crash site. And have you seen the car? And I said, yeah, it's over like over there or whatever. And they were dressed in like carnival clothes. I don't even know what a carnival clothes is, but that's how it looked. So we went to the car, and the car just got auctioned off. I don't understand. The car it was in an auction. This totaled SUV was in an auction. They auctioned off the car. Somebody bought it for I don't know how much. Then we went and looked at the car. We got in it, and my dad started driving it. And I'm thinking of a Hot Wheels, the Hot Wheel tracks, and they have the loops. He was driving it. We all got back in the car, and we was going around the loop. And I remember yelling at him, like, are you serious? Are you crazy? We just got in a big accident. You're going to go and do this? And then I woke up. Boom. I woke up after that. Now, here's the funny part. When I woke up, of course, I was like, what was that? I remembered it. I was wide awake when I woke up. Typically, when you wake up, you're like, ugh. I was wide awake. I was alert. I knew exactly what happened in that dream. That's why I said sometimes God will give you a dream to wake you up so you can pray to him in your secret place. But on the TV, because when we go to bed, we have it sleep timer. The timer ain't gone off yet, but on the TV was Barrett Jackson auction that plays on this channel I watch. So there was an actual auction going on the TV as I was having this dream. And I'm like, oh, well, there you go. That's why the SUV got auctioned off. But yeah, very interesting. I've had a number of dreams like this. And this one, now, when I said I'm not good at interpreting them, what I do get from this is, and it's a lot about what I preach on, is God will always be with you through the storm. Now, I seen that car wreck as a storm, and God was with us. He was with everybody in that car, and we walked away from that wreck without being injured at all. And I know his hand of protection was on us in that dream. So I did get that from it. There could be some other things, some pieces in there that means other things. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not gifted with the interpretation of dreams, but I did get that. I did get that he's protecting us. Them wings like an eagle are surrounding us as we was flipping and turning and skidding through the grass. And he made it to where that vehicle went in between that house and that garage. I believe that. And that's exactly what I get from that. Now, other than that, I'm not sure. But, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. If anybody knows anything, if you have any thoughts on it, let me know. Send me a comment, message, whatever you want to do. But I did want to read, because, I mean, obviously dreams are in the Bible quite a bit. They are, but here's the one of the more common verses. Whoa. Hello. Where are we at? Yep. So Acts chapter 2, verse number 17. I'm sure you've all heard it. It says, and it shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out of my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. I believe that 100%. A lot of people don't. Pray for them people that don't believe this stuff still happens today. But yeah, I believe it 100%. Sons and daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. Now, I believe young men will dream dreams. I believe old men will see visions, because I see visions. And I thought that was funny because Sam, my wife, she calls me an old man all the time. So I found it appropriate that it says, and your old men shall dream dreams. And I had doing this video about the dream I had last night, and she calls me an old man. So yeah, there you go. But that's just one verse here in Acts chapter 2:17. I wanted to share that again, just in case anybody had any insight on that. And another reason is so I can remember that when it just so happens that when I probably will forget about that dream, and I can go back and watch this. So hope everyone has a wonderful day. It was was a very vivid dream, and it was like it was really happening in real time. And yeah, so total white SUV. I'm sure if I go back and listen to this and think more on it, I'll probably get some more messages from it. And I believe I will, but I've been busy at work today and I ain't thought a whole lot about it, but I'm definitely going to think about that now. So that's it. I am not a good dream interpreter. I'm not very good at saying words too sometimes, but if anybody has anything to add to that, let me know. Like, share, subscribe. We got a deliverance conference coming up November 1st through the 3rd in Shelbyville. We have our mass deliverance coming up first Sunday of the month. That is in 2 weeks. Yep. October, first Sunday, October. PayPal, there's a QR code if you want to pause it and sow into the ministry. And you can also do it at patreon.com, Aaron Direct Ministries. All the money stays in the kingdom. Hope everyone has a wonderful day, and God bless.